Okay, now also I'm in the process of creating a new role. So with user ID in LB, I've created this role. Okay, so basically yesterday it was through this. So whatever roles you create in HANA Studio are called catalog roles, and these roles cannot be imported into any other system. Sorry, any other instance or system. Only the roles which are created as part of repository, that is the repository roles which are created in IDE, web IDE, will allow us to transport these roles from one system to another system. So what did I do? I created a package called role design, and I created a role called Z role 100 here. Okay, where I granted everything that is required for the user. Also, while creating the catalog roles, we had some issues, right? We were not able to assign any what do you say, the object privileges, because we were not able to assign it because we were only given access to select and execute, but not the privilege to assign this privilege to any other user. Okay, so for that reason we were not able to assign this access, but now I have given all the necessary access to NLB. And also, in order to, let us say, if NLB is the role admin or user admin, so whenever you are assigning the access to this user NLB, okay, make sure like whatever privileges are granted to NLB, you have to select this option called grantable to other users and roles, or else there is no point, right? So while creating this role also, so make sure that if you add some privilege here in granted roles, sorry, in part, yeah, in the system privileges, when you assign this role, make sure that you are selecting this option grantable to other users and roles. Until and unless you do this, you will not be able to select this. Sorry, you will not be able to assign this role to others, this system privilege to other user with this role. You'll get some authorization error and all that. Never do it. So I've created this role. What did I do? So okay, here we have to discuss about a concept before transporting the roles. Like role is under what? Role is created under a package called role design. So you cannot directly transport a package. You have to use the concept called. I'll show you. You have to use the concept called. Let me go to the window. Here in the perspective, you can open a perspective called SAP HANA Modeler. I think it is already open here in the quick view. If you select on this, you can find the option called delivery units. So in delivery units, you can select the system that you want to perform the operation. Okay, I'll select the system as HBD system. Okay, select the source system, click on next. Okay, here what you can do, you can create a delivery unit. Delivery unit is nothing but a group of packages. You can select whatever packages that you want to transport from one system to another system. I'll give some random name of that. This is the transport name, and who is responsible for this transport. Let us say system is responsible for this transport, not system. Let us say an LB is responsible for this transport or something. Or else I can give system also. That's not an issue. System is responsible, and I'll give the version as one. So later, if you are transporting the same thing, you can update the version name as two. It's up to you. You can change the version name as you like. All other details are not needed except for these three. Click on OK, and your package is created. Once your package is created, once your delivery unit is created, you can assign the package that you want. Which package I'll assign? I want to import the role here. So I'll select the role which I need to import. Finish. Click on finish. Okay. Our delivery unit is created successfully. So in order to move this delivery unit from one system to the source system, you need to log in into application lifecycle management. Okay, basically this is the application lifecycle management portal. So the application lifecycle management portal goes somewhere like this. It is SAP HANA. Okay, it is access. It is access LM. Okay, LM stands for lifecycle management. Access is your server engine. You have to log in into access LM. Okay, Once you log in into XSLM with giving the credentials, the first screen that you're going to see is this thing. Okay, here you can see multiple things going on in the recent activities. Okay, so now you can go to this home products and all are used by the application developers. Basically, if they want to create a new product, they can do it, the modelers or the application developers. Okay, but we are going to only create a transport. So before doing the transport, you can, if suppose for this transport, like everything is active, but let us say the DB admin job is to like I have maintained the vendor name, that is Travan. You can always change the vendor name, but I'm not going to change it now because we have to do a system restart if I'm going to change it. I'll keep it as Travan. Okay, you can, if you want to enable recording, you can enable it. I'm only using native SAP HANA support, which is the standard transport mechanism which is provided by HANA DB. I'm not selecting enable CTS transport because this will enable solution manager. I'm not going to use solution manager here. So because solution manager is a different tool which we are not going to discuss as part of our course. But solution manager, if you enable, you have to configure everything. This is done by HANA DB admin or the basis admin. Okay, he's going to do it. I have only selected enable, and in transport, what you're going to do, you have to register. Sorry, systems. Now, if you see, there is only one system. Okay, HDB. In real-time scenario, you will have multiple systems like HQ. Now, let us consider HDB as your development system. In real time, you will have HQB and HPB. Okay. Then what will be your source system? Your source system will be HDB, and your target system will be what? Your source system will be HDB, and your target system will be HQB. If you want to import transport from this system to another system, but unfortunately now we do not have any new system. Okay, and our admin team is following up with the server people to create a new, what do you say, create a new instance. Once we have, I have asked them to create an instance called HQB because we do not have privileges to create. So I have asked them to do it. Once they do it, we'll be able to see the transport clearly. But these are the system details that you can find. But if you go to transports, you can create a transport request here. You can name something, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to select the source system, but unfortunately the target system is already defined because there is only one system available. So if you try to select the same system as your source system, it will not allow, it will throw an error definitely, but not right away, but see what happens. Now you can select the package which you have created, which is what, security or something, role transport. They have created multiple packages, so you can select any package that you have created. Some role transport I have created, okay, or transport 1, 2, 3, 4, which we have created right now. Select it, add some comment.
Raban, what is this website again?
This is not a website. This is an application lifecycle management cockpit, which is provided by HANA DB.
HANADB.
Okay,
All
so
HANADB
this
have
is
this cockpit
yeah, HANA DB will get this cockpit by default.
by default.
By default, you'll get this. Yes, and this is the link for that. It can vary from system to system. As I already said in my previous class, you can find it by right clicking on the system, go to properties, and go to access properties. In access properties, you'll find the host details. Okay, you'll find the host name as well as the instance number. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can simply copy paste this thing, and you can add these details. Click on cancel. So what happens once you are successfully be able to create a transport, it will give you an option here. Okay, it will give you an option to start transport. Simply select your transport and click on start transport. It will show you the message that the transport is successful. Once the transport is successful, you can go to your target system and you can check if the package is imported or not. It's easy, right? You can go to the content folder and you can check if the package, this particular package is imported or not. Easy. Okay, that is a transport system, but I can show it to you more clearly once we get it in real. Okay, we are trying to get a new system. For now, we only have one instance, that is development instance, HDB. Let us get HQB and we'll be able to do it. Okay. or some other system. Any other system except HDB will do it, because now for now we only have one server. We only have one instance, one system. So with one system, you'll not be able to see how we are going to transport, because you cannot transport in the same system because the package is already existing. So the source system and the target system should be different. Okay. So today, apart from this, we are going to cover two more topics in LB, that is auditing and tracing. Okay. There are two topics that we are going to cover. Both are easy. Okay. They're not difficult. Um, Let me close all these tabs.
Okay.
And tomorrow we can see what we can understand basic details of what is a multi-tenant database. Multi-tenant database is simple. So you can have different kind of tenants here. Okay. Different kind of tenants under the same system. Okay. Like on the same HANA database, you can have multiple tenant databases. Like now we are asking our team to create a new tenant database, right? This is a tenant database. So in tenant database, basically the modelers or the developers are going to work on tenant database. There is another database called the system database. System database access is not usually given to any of us. Okay, system database is only allotted to the basis admin. Okay, the basis team is going to like monitor the system database. And if, suppose if you have get a new system admin or the basis admin will get a tenant database from a system database. Okay, I'll explain you the whole concept. It is easy only. It is only for our understanding. Okay, security consultant will not do anything. It is purely for the basis admin, but for knowledge sake, we are going to discuss about it. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let us remove all these unnecessary things. Okay. Let us have this thing. Okay. Uh, Now I'm going to show you the audit part. For accessing the audit part, you have to select security. Earlier, there was no audit policy defined, but now for showing you, I have created a new audit policy here. I'll let me remove it. I'll show it to you from scratch. Now, earlier it was disabled. You can select it enabled. Okay, in the audit section, and you can get three options here. Syslog is the default. Like by default, you will be only seeing syslog. But what syslog does is that cannot change the audit settings. General errors change tenant database. Okay. Basically, the system database, like in tenant database, you cannot change it. Let me see. I think there is some issue with it. But now I was able to change it. So let's see. Let us see if our system user ID has the audit admin privilege. Okay. This is our system user ID. I think there's some issue going on. Better I'll come out of all these cockpits so that there is no issue. Yeah, audit admin, audit operator, as well as audit read is assigned to the system user. So there shouldn't be any issue. But okay, let us do a system refresh and let us try to do it. Okay, so what we have done is that I have already enabled the audit trace, so it is not allowing us to change the audit log. I assigned the database table here. Let me do one thing. Let me disable it. Let me disable and execute. Okay, I have disabled it successfully. Let me now try to enable it. Let me change it to, instead of database table, I'll try to change it to syslog default. Cannot change audit settings for tenant database. Okay, only one time it is going to allow you. Okay, so be careful while giving this auditing. So what I've done is that I've selected database table because syslog will basically save the audit log in at Linux level or the OS level, at SUSE Linux level or the OS level. Will not be able to extract the data. Will not be able to modify any audit data. It is going to be very difficult. That's why I selected database table. You can also select CSV text file usually. It is not allowing. There is some error actually. I don't know for some reason, but usually it allows. Okay, usually it will allow. You can select CSV text file. Let me try with NLB user ID and see what happens with that. Sorry. Okay, it is not going to allow you for the change in tenant database. Okay, if you want to change it now, you have to change it directly from the system database, which we don't have access. Okay, only the server provider, the test server provider will have access to it and will not be able to change it anymore. So once we have enabled this, now if you want to change this audit trail, you have to change it from your system database, which we cannot show you obviously. So after enabling this, you can select an audit policy. You can give whatever policy you want. I'm giving the policy name as my policy. I'm giving the policy as my policy. Okay. And what are the audited actions? So usually you can audit all these actions. If you select all actions will be audited basically. All the actions available will be audited. These are required for separate different people who are working in our what do you say, in our HANA studio. But what basically we do is that we either select as a security person, we use only user and role management and granting and revoking authorization. Okay, we only use these things, but for now only select user and role admin. Okay, user and role management, I can only select one what do you say, one action per a policy. Okay, you can select multiple policies here. Similarly, I can select my policy 2 with audited actions as, I can select audit action as something else, granting and revoking of authorization. Okay, I can select two policies basically. Okay, so here if you want to enable this only for one user, this policy only for one user. If you want to audit only one user, you can give the user here. Or if you want to exclude some users from this policy, you can give that here. But I'm not going to give anything here because I don't either I don't want to create any exception, or I don't want to only monitor one person. I want to monitor everybody, like all the users I want to monitor. Okay, you will not be able to select any target object, and audit trail target is also usually not given to you. Like if you want, you can select a database table or CSV text file or syslog for that matter. Okay, you can select anything you want, but by default we have selected the target as database table. Okay. Okay, fine. So after creating this policies, you can click on execute. Okay, so we have created the policies successfully. Now let us say if a user is doing something in the system. Okay, like let us say if Nalbi is creating something, you can give that action. Did I miss something? Okay, and also you can select so only if you want to monitor the successful actions, or also if you want to monitor unsuccessful or all. It depends. Okay, if you want to monitor all the actions or not. Let us say I only want to monitor successful actions, and let us say with an LB user ID, I'll try to create some new user. It will show me in the audit log what happened. It's required to change. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. It is showing some. Okay. Let us use latest 1 2 3 instead. Okay, let us create with the HAN system user. Test 1, 2, 3. Let us give some password. Okay, I've given the password here. Okay, you can give valid or something. I'll just execute. I'm just creating a simple user here. So basically, you can perform all these audit actions as a main audit actions. Okay, you can backup deletions, data definitions. The thing that you just saw when I was selecting what I want to monitor, like I selected only user and role management for my profile. You can select anything else as you want. Okay, you can select it as emergency alert, critical warning info. Like the auditor user information is there already here. You can see. Okay, all alert, emergency, critical are there. Audit trail targets. Okay, if you want to select some audit trail target for your profile, you are always free to do it. Okay, you can select the audit trail target. Okay, and you can also select the audit level. I have selected the audit level as info because I only want information. Okay, you can either select it as an alert or emergency or something else, critical, or whatever you see feasible. Basically, it depends upon organization to organization because I am only showing it to you for practice purpose, so I have only selected info. You can select any option that you want. Okay, so the views that basically are needed. Okay, audit policies, in file contents. So in audit policies, all audit policies and their states are stored in this system view. Okay, there is one more thing called audit underscore log where all audit logs are stored. I'll show you the system views basically. System views are stored in which schema? It is stored under sys underscore BI and sys underscore BIC schema. I'm going to show you that. Okay, you can see everything. So that's what I mentioned here. The configuration parameter for auditing are stored under i.global.ini configuration file in the auditing configuration section. Okay, so the configuration parameter is stored here. I'll show you that. Okay, it's easy only. I'll show you that. M underscore infile contents. So only database users with system privilege, catalog read, data admin, or infile admin can view information in the M underscore infile contents view. Okay, I'm going to show you that. You need to have these three privileges. Okay, I'll share you these files. Okay, in order so that you can refer to it. And this is audit log infrastructure. Okay, it's not so important basically. Everything will be covered. Audit admin or audited operator privilege needs to be assigned in order to basically enable the audit log. Okay, I basically explained like what is a Linux syslog or what is a database table or what is a CSV format basically. Okay, so what you can do is that you can it's easy basically. You can basically select as per your requirement. Database table is easy to access. Okay, you can change the entries of the table. Like CSV file, you can download a text file basically. So I have mentioned the same thing here. Okay, the options that you saw basically as an output: Linux syslog, database table, and the CSV text file. Anything can be selected as an output. Okay, where are we? I've given a business example. Okay, you can refer to it if needed, but we are not going to see any business example. Okay, sys underscore object. Okay, this is the table, database table that is used basically for database table. Let me show you that. Or if you want to, if you want to create anything, okay, like audit policy or something like that, you can create it using SQL also, but I would not suggest you to use any SQL if you're not good with SQL. But if you want to use, you can use these SQL queries also to activate an audit policy or for creating, dropping, or to create any audit policy. You can use this query. At the same time, you can activate this audit policy using this thing. Okay. If you want to display some data in the audit log, you can use this command also. Select from public dot audit log, which will give you the data basically. Let us try to execute that query. System SQL query editor. Okay, what is the query? Select star from public dot audit log. Okay, public dot audit. Sorry, what happened? Yeah, be careful while selecting this audit log. Okay, you should also have the access to select this, but I have given the privilege to view the audit log. Okay, and execute. Could not execute. Invalid schema. What did I do? This is the wrong schema which I have written here. Select from. Did I give spaces? I think so. That no, it's correct only. One space is allowed after everything. What is wrong? Okay. Simple thing is that we have not followed the syntax basically. We went with small letters. Always give this as public dot audit log. Now I am able to see the audit log here. Okay. In audit log, you can see the recent action that you have done as a system user. So index server will basically give you, see what happened. I've created the policies, right? My policy, I've created a my policy and everything. It is showing. And what else I created? I created a user. Okay, and I have altered that user successfully. So all the data. So what user I've created? Test 123 I've created. What user ID I've changed? Test 123 I've changed. So the audit log can be seen with this query, which is select from public dot audit log. Easy. Okay, you can view this
Okay.
audit log.
This script is useful, no?
Sorry.
This script is useful.
This SQL query, this data is useful. Let us say, okay, as an LB, like you have done some changes in the system. Let us say you have given access to me as a role admin. You shouldn't do that, but you have done it. So how can I monitor it if this audit log is not enabled, right?
Correct.
If the audit
Correct.
log is not enabled, you'll not be able to find who is the culprit. Let us say in an organization, an LB, like you are there in the organization, and some person has changed some or some person has viewed some confidential data in your organization. What will happen? How can you how can you find out who is the person who is responsible for doing this? You have to activate the audit log in order to catch that culprit in your organization and to punish him.
Correct.
Okay, so in order to do that, so this all comes under your SOX compliance basically. So you have to comply to these compliance standards in your company to function to maintain your company's performance smoothly. Otherwise, what might happen? Let us say you are working for a company called Gulf Computers. Your company has designed some path breaking technology. Okay, and all these details are stored in your HANA database. Okay, let us say some X user has accessed this data using some SQL query. Okay, and he has shared this data to your competitor. So what? How are you going to find it? You have to enable the audit trace. Simple. Select all instead of only user admin. I have only selected user admin now as of my policy one. As a profile, my policy one, I have selected it. Instead, you select everything, trace everything, and find who is the culprit using the audit trace. Right?
correct.
So that's why auditing is very important. So that this is how you get the data of audit. Okay. And you also got this thing. Okay. If you want to clear this audit log, you can use this command: alter system clear audit log all. Okay, I'll share you these documents. I have to share you the document for transport also. Two documents I have to share: DB transport and auditing. I'll share them. Don't worry. Audit log, record, audit policy, audit trail. Again, the same thing, same story. Audit admin, audit operator. Yeah, it's the same thing. And these are some analytical privileges that you can use in order to get the data. Okay, in order to check what are the effective privileges which are assigned to user, you can use this query. Okay, it will basically give you the data of what analytical privileges are assigned to a particular user. Okay, username you can give. Suppose if I want to find NLB's analytical privileges, whatever analytical privileges are assigned to NLB, I can execute this query. Or simply what you can do, you can go to the user NLB and you can check what analytical privileges are assigned in the analytical privilege tab. So we never use this queries usually in the real time. Only for knowledge purpose I have shared this privileges. You can use it accordingly wherever it is needed. Okay, it is only to see the selected privilege. So I have given an example also. See, select from
Uh,
public effective structured privileges where root schema name is PIC and root object name is so and so, such in PCK, and username is Rahul. You'll get all the privileges that are assigned to you. Or else you can directly go to the user and you can check what privileges are assigned to you. That is easy rather than going executing the queries and all. But
is
I have
there
to
a
share it.
script? Shravan, is there a script to determine who are the users who's accessing the database and what are the roles and privilege?
Yes, basically, like what roles you user is accessing, you can always check it from the user tab, or what you can do, you can go to the roles itself. So let us say you want to see which this role is assigned to how many users. Okay, you have created a role in your organization. Let me show you. Yesterday we created one role. What is that role? Z role 100, right? You have created this role, isn't it? Is it full or is it empty? Okay, this is empty. This is created. Okay, so this is created. So if you want to see like how many users are assigned to this, you can assign. You can check this. Okay,
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Yeah, okay, I'm about to go there. I'll tell you that. Okay. And this is again the same story. Okay, so this is auditing. Okay, I'll tell you how to trace. Okay, now we'll check the trace thing. So trace is also very much easy. So for tracing, what you need to do, let me close all the sessions. Okay. So in order to trace, what you need to do, let me select double click on system. And if you double click on system, you can find the trace configuration here. Basically, go to trace configuration. In trace configuration, you can configure the trace. I have configured some trace here. Other trace. I'm deleting it. Let me create a new trace so that I can show you. Only user specific trace is only user specific trace is relevant to us. If you want to do as a database admin, you can create database trace or SQL trace, whatever SQL commands you are executing in the database. If you want to see what errors you are getting, basically trace configuration is to identify what error you are getting and what privilege that you need. Some privilege is missing to you at the time of execution, so how to identify which privilege is missing to you with trace? Easy. And performance trace is performed by the system admin, that is basis admin. Expensive system trace, let us say if an SQL statement is running for long time, for more than, you want to see what SQL statements are running for long time. Okay, you can set some threshold here. By default the threshold will be like this. Okay, and it is inactive now, you can make it as active and you can set a threshold. So whatever SQL query will exceed this threshold, you'll see it in the report. This is also not done by us. This is done by SQL people. Sorry, the database people. End-to-end traces. Okay, end-to-end trace also we are not going to define anything. Okay, we are only going to use a simple trace called user specific trace, basically to identify what errors he is getting. So let me create a trace. So I'll give the trace name as authorization tracing. I want to give database user as NLP. Okay, application user, again, if you have any third party application user, you can give it here. But right now we don't have any third party application user like BIBO users will be there, right? Who will be third party application users who will be accessing HANA database. We discussed about the restricted user concept. If there is such user, you can give the user ID application user here. But right now we are not giving anything. And here in type filter, search for authorization. Okay, search for
Shravan,
authorization. Hmm.
Tableau and Power BI are allowed to connect in SAP HANA DB.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Tableau and Power BI.
Tableau and Power BI. It depends actually. It can be a third party application. Yes, you can integrate it with HANA database again. And you have to make sure that the user ID is matched between the two systems. Okay, if your user ID is created as null B here, the same user ID will be created in the third party application as well. So that your user IDs are in sync and your privileges are in sync.
Okay. How about SQL?
Which SQL?
SQL, is it allowed to connect in SAP HANA?
MySQL?
Microsoft SQL.
Microsoft SQL. Okay, yeah, you can connect it with HANA database. You can connect any third-party application with HANA database. But what is the purpose of?
For example, I'm going to create reports.
Mhm.
I will using SQL. I will connect in SAP HANA DB.
Hmm. You can do it.
Okay, okay.
You can do it. But how you are going to control is the security admin job. Okay. Connecting one system to another system is your basis admin job. Basis admin has to take care of it, and he has to explore the possibility if if it is allowed or not. MySQL. I think MySQL is allowed. Like any third-party applications, if you want to build some reports on HANA database as a third-party application, it is always allowed until and unless if you have the license to do it. Okay. So I have
Okay.
selected auth here, and I am going to select show all components, and our required component will be there under index server. You can find authorization here. In authorization, I want to search only for error, and in system trace level, I am going to select as error. Okay, I don't want to select any warning or info or something like that. I can also select info here because I want some information. Let us say I want some information. I'll click on finish. So I have successfully activated this trace to the user. So what I'll do now, as a null B, I'll try to create some new role as a role admin. I have given role admin access to null. Okay, what happened? Null B is facing some issue. Null B is ready. We have some issue here. Okay, let me remove this and let us log in once again with null B. Usually, there is no need to change password this many times. Okay, in the real environment, but this environment is a training environment, so that's why all these issues are popping up. System will never ask you to reset password daily. It is very rare that you reset your password in HANA until and unless there is some password policy defined in order to make your password outdated for your user ID. Okay, I'll quickly create 0 10. Sorry. Okay, I am quickly creating this and I'm going to system privileges and I'll have to add some privilege called audit read, and I'll click on execute. Okay, it gave me some error. Could not grant privilege audit read. You are not authorized to perform the required actions. Okay, you got an error. Now, if you want to trace, what you can do, you can go to diagnosis file. I have given the null user ID in the tracing. So I'll go to diagnosis files. Okay, I'll search for the name which I've given. Authorization tracing. Okay, this is the file. Double click on it and you'll be able to see what is this user null missing. Okay, null B is not allowed to grant system privilege audit read. It is clearly giving that okay, null B is not able to assign this particular privilege. Okay, similarly you can do it for everything. So what is he saying? User null B try to execute grant audit read to zero temp. So this
Mm,
user null B is basically not allowed to assign audit read to any other user. So that is where I said to you, like you have to go to system, you have to go to users, you can go to null B and see audit read profile is already assigned to null B. But the thing is that he is not allowed to assign this access to any other user. I'm selecting this, I'll execute this. So basically, with the authorization trace only, you'll be able to see like what access this null v is missing. Okay. So
okay,
now
this is
I'll go
great now.
to. Hmm. Now I'll try to execute now.
Okay.
Did it allow? Yes. See, role has been changed. Now role has been assigned with audit treat. Okay, that is how you use your audit log basically. Okay,
Oh,
I have
log.
only selected for unsuccessful things in the sorry, in the trace. If you want to select not only error, if you want to select everything, you can select that. So I selected info. I'm able to see the info. Now by seeing this info, I was able to see that okay, he was missing the system privilege audit read. He is not allowed to assign this. So I'll go to the user. I'll go to the user ID and I'll simply assign. I'll give him the access to assign this audit admin privilege. Sorry, audit read privilege to the user. So let us say if he's trying to assign some other privilege and if he is not allowed to do it, it will simply show it in the authorization trace. And not only that, if someone is not able to see, let us see if there is some package. Let us say there is some package, okay, in the content folder, there's a package called latest, and you're trying to access this attribute view as latest 1 to 3. If you have some issues, it will clearly show you that's okay, boss, you need so and so analytical privilege in order to execute this, in order to view this attribute. Then you will simply assign this analytical privilege to this user ID and yeah, issue solved. So in order to get the data in LB, like there is a query. Okay, I'm going to share you that query in the coming session. There is a query with which you can simply execute that query and you can get the data like how many users are assigned to a particular role. That is what you basically want to find out, right? How
Yes.
many users are basically assigned to a particular role. You can do that. Yeah, I can show it to you in the next class. Yeah, it's very easy. Okay, there is a query that is useful.